Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. Yesterday I didn't manage to do a video. The internet in the house was broken, I think, but it's fixed now. So before we start, just I also publish on Rumble and I'm on these socials here. We got some interesting news, especially coming from NVIDIA. Seems that the fact that people don't have enough money to buy those expensive GPUs, they are dropping a little bit here and there, and now the 4080 seems to be around $90 below MSRP. However, if not mistaken, this is the PNI technologies, the version for them. It's like $60 off from the MSRP, but seems that on the new WEC it has an additional $30 discount. I don't know if it is. No, it's with a promo code. Okay, I don't think it's like a thing of rebates or something like that. I think it's just the promo code. You just use it and you get the extra $30. So it's $90 below MSRP. Still expensive like hell. This GPU, to be more attractive, has to be in line with the 7900 XTX price, give or take. So around $1,000 or below, to be competitive with that one, and still it's expensive. And I'm saying this also with the AMD card in mind. It should be around, I don't know, $850, $900. We shall see some prices dropping because people are not paying that much. The XTX is it's selling kind of well from what I can gather. It's starting like $960. So again, the 4080 has to be way below. They trade blows between each other, but in my preference goes to the AMD one, mainly because I don't care too much about RTX. RTX, no, ray tracing and all that thing. You got FSR, which is kind of good, but for playing 4K 60 frames minimum, this is more than good enough. The 7900 XTX. And it has, of course, more VRAM and more memory bandwidth, if not mistaken. I'm not sure if the memory bandwidth and the bus itself, how it compares to each other out of the top of my head, but it has more VRAM, which is going to last you a little bit longer than the 4080. Even though in this next news here, supposedly NVIDIA's got a I think this is a proprietary technology, which is like texture compression technology, basically. The way it supposedly works, they found a way. They make a way of compressing textures, in a way different that everybody else does, which usually it's what it's like block compression, which like square ones. The definition is arranged by squares, basically. So the more squares you can, it's like pixels basically. You compress the pixels, and then when the decompression works, basically this is how it works from what I can gather. And this is like a different way of doing things. And supposedly it's said to deliver 4 times higher resolution. So they call it like the Texels levels or whatever this is. It's proprietary stuff from what I can gather, and basically it has the same. It basically has the same quality to a certain point, but supposedly uses less VRAM. They for sure have been working this for a long time, before the launch of the 40s. I think in the roundabouts in the 30s series they might be already been working on this technology, because as you can see that their VRAM capacities are not that good. But yeah, it has supposedly I don't know. From what I can gather, it supposedly saves VRAM space. So it's like it goes to the encounter. What I've been saying is these guys are going for Apple path, which is they have the bare minimum of hardware performance and specs, and then they introduced their proprietary technology. It started with the DLSS, but then AMD, catch up with the FSR. Now they have this kind of thing with a different kind of compression, which reduces the usage of VRAM. But of course, they excuse this now because we are manufacturing hardware which has low amounts of VRAM. We have found a way of reducing that VRAM usage. It's a solution, of course, but it's impressive how they're going about it, trying to squeeze money out of people for this kind of proprietary technologies. When you have, and of course they have, the rent. They have their subscription base thing, the NVIDIA Shadowplay, the ones that it's cloud gaming or whatever it is. You got that subscription. You got the thing that even for you to install basically the drivers and then use like any of the software, you have to create an account for them to track you, which AMD at the moment doesn't have, which is very good. And you can use like the recording software and everything without creating an account. And in NVIDIA you have to have an account associated with you. All this kind of finicky thing, like it's not gamer oriented to a certain point. I don't know how to say it best. But yeah, basically it's what they are claiming. It's 4 times higher resolution than standard compression with 40% less memory. It will not be kind of like this. You're going to need like high-end GPUs still to work out this kind of compression and decompression, because if you think about it, when you compress and decompress, you need resources to do the compression and decompression. It's like when you use to a certain extent like zip or WinRAR, you use the CPU processor to do power to do this kind of operations and other. But this is like compression, decompression. Basically, it's what it does, and they try to compensate the lack of VRAM and the bandwidth, because this is supposedly going to use less bandwidth because less information is needed to pass through to the VRAM to then decompress. They try to compensate this with higher clocks and everything. Try to compensate this with a lack of memory VRAM capacity, which by overall will lead you to less memory bandwidth, and it will continue, because if you, for example, if for a modder, for sure, when you introduce mods, it will continue to bottleneck everything, and you can put all the compression that you want, but by the end, when you're playing 4K high fidelity, the buffer of VRAM will start interfering with the capacity of VRAM to have that information stored in that VRAM. But yeah, this is my little rant for today. But yeah, now for gaming, supposedly Starfield is rated M for mature, like 17 years plus by the ESRB, which is the American one. It is what it is. Basically all the Bethesda games from the mainline Bethesda game studios have been basically 17 plus games, so there is not much here to tell about, but at least this shows that they are at least on the track of making that release, that launch date. I'm still we are going to have like a dedicated one when the Xbox stuff showcase will happen later in a few months, I think. I'm not sure when it comes. Let me see if it has here the date. I know I read this somewhere. Yeah, June 11th. It's the Xbox Games showcase. In this day, I also will try to see what's happening there, and if there is anything worthwhile for me. In my opinion, I will let you know. Now, Star Wars Jedi Survivor still is not the best game to run, but supposedly there is already a DLSS free mod, and supposedly runs twice as fast. Of course, DLSS 3 introduces fake frame rates. The guy here that wrote the article, this is from Pure Darks. He's been doing a lot of mods with DLSS, like injecting the DLSS things on certain games that don't officially support this. And it's from the last before this one, I remember, I think Elden Rings, if not mistaken, he injected also DLSS for that. I think this guy has been doing great work. The mod scene is always very active, and it's awesome to have a PC to play with, around finicking with mods and everything. It's always good. But I was saying that the guy that wrote the article, it said he tried out and everything. I have an issue here. He says that the game feels a lot smoother. I don't know how much smoother the game feels, because there is perceptually what your eyes can perceive. I for sure can. I agree that the game looks smoother. It's more frame rates, so but still has some stuttering now and then. But if the game doesn't have any stuttering, the fake frame rates to the eye will always look smoother. But the fact is that when you introduce frames, fake frames in between real frames, there is a lag between, because the fact that he has to guess, the GPU basically tries to guess what the next frame is between the two real frames, so he has to delay the one of the real frames to calculate the next frame, and between those he has to input a fake frame rate. So there is always a lag for much reflex technology can go about. It's going to introduce some system lag, at least in the perception of the inputs. And if you are sensitive, there are people that are very sensitive. I don't know if I'm like real sensitive. The maximum that I played, like when I was had a PC, was like around 1440p 60 frames per second. So I'm kind of used to 60 frames per second, even when I was playing 1080p like a long time ago. But still, in some games that have like some delay on input, I can feel a lot, because that's the sensation is something feels wrong when you make an input, when you press a button, when you move your mouse, and there is like even like the slightest delay, you feel that something is missing out. But yeah, I don't know if the guy wrote the game. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to say that it doesn't feel for them, but I think that what he's trying to convey, it's really as seen as being smoother. I don't know regarding feeling smoother, like between what you input and then what you see, the delay there, or what it can be. It's the game, because it's stuttery and everything. It already has like a very high input latency, and then the fact that the reflex is on, maybe in certain way might compensate that. I don't know. I don't have the game. I didn't play the game, so it's just a guessing game for me from the article that wrote out. But that stuck out to me. Hogwarts Legacy, it seems to be selling well. 1 billion in retail, 15 million or plus 15 million units sold. Well, which it shows that the game is good for all the metrics possible, despite of the debacle of everything around the creator of Harry Potter. Now I forgot her name. Everybody tries to tie everything that comes out with her name, J.K. Rowling. Sorry. You can see how much I am connected to this kind of book stuff. But yeah, it seems pretty good. There is like rumblings that they might launch like a DLC, probably. We don't know if it is like a new IP. We will see how it goes. But yeah, basically this is it for gaming news, except for this one. There is I saw this announcement, SHADOWMAN Darque Legacy. I think this is from a comic book, Valiant Entertainment. Seems pretty dark indeed, but I don't know this IP in particular, but the about section here seems pretty good. At least the setup of the environment here. and of course I will leave a link on the description so you can check out the teaser trailer. Doesn't show too much, but yeah, if you're aware and familiar with this IP, maybe you get more excited than me, but it seems very interesting. And let's go for gaming deals. We still have like the Ludonarrowcon, which is like a lot of games based on narration and story focused. The last video I made, I think I made some recommendations like Citizen Sleeper. There is also Hard Space Shipbreaker. There is also this one that has an interesting art style here. It's very positive reviews. I will leave a link of this sale here. There are live guys streaming. There are, I think this one has also some demos playable, like for example the Invincible. It's one that I wishlisted. You got some demos here, so you can try it out before you buy. A lot of interesting things here, at least from just by the artwork. Some of them seem pretty interesting, and I saw some of them. Yeah, you got a lot of great publishers here, like Focus, 11-bit Studios, which more Neon. I think I already heard about these ones. You got a lot of good publishers here. Team 17, it's an old one. From the time from the Worms games, I played this in Mega Drive, I think. Yeah, I will leave a link on the description of this big sale here, and I want to also point out that there is like 44 hours, like at least 2 days for Human Revolution, Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, 85% off, and I think the other one, oh my god, Mankind Divided. Just let me check here. I didn't check this one, I forgot, sorry. Yeah, 85% off. These are very good games. You play back to back and you get a good experience in terms of storytelling and the mechanics. It's very good, these games. And lastly, from here Steam, again I got Spiritfarer Farewell Edition. It's on this Ludonarrowcon showcase here, 80% off still. It's valid until 11th of May, so you still have time. And yeah, from Steam this is it. I got some Epic Game Store free games. I've got these free games here. I don't recognize any of this, but if you want to try it, here you have it. I will leave a link in the description on the free games for Epic Game Store. You have again until 11th of May. And Focus Entertainment also has on GOG promotion here. Yeah, we got the Plague Tale Innocent. You got the Runaway titles here, the Surge. They are okay, but you got the dual pack for $10 if you kind of like an alternative to Dark Souls, but not that good, but an okay one. You got this one. Got the Vampire game, seems okay. This game also. What else? You got a lot of more kind of indie game style here. Yeah. I will leave a description on everything that I'm talking here on the links on the description, and I'm going to wrap up for today with my GoGetFundMe. This is for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients and start doing also some video stuff for them, and of course in my free spare time doing the daily gaming news with better quality if possible, and of course resume my gameplays, going some deep dives with some scripted content, and of course probably in the near future doing some live streams. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.